If you're not growing in general, or if you're not reaching the people, it's because there's a problem with either the content, with the research that you have done, with the work that you're doing.
Many little things, actually.
Many other creators that are like already upset because they are not growing anymore, etc., etc. And what we always say, and we are also part of those creators, we say, every time we don't grow or something doesn't work, we never blame the algorithm.
They blame to the weatherman.
I mean, the algorithm is created for you to grow. Is that for you to connect you with the right people. If there's something that the algorithm doesn't want you to do, that the algorithm wants you to connect you with the people. So if you are not growing, it's because
your fault.
It's your fault. I mean,
That's
you need
it.
to assume it.
Life today is chaotic, unpredictable, and constantly shifting. But within the chaos lies opportunity, and we're here to seize it. This is Generation Uncharted. Arif and Ricky, thank you so much for joining me on Generation Uncharted. How are you both doing?
Good, thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
All right, well, let's jump into the first question. So we live in a time where social media is flooded with content, yet many creators are really struggling to gain the visibility and monetize their passions. So why do you think the current digital landscape is presenting such challenges to creators?
In our opinion, it's actually the opposite. We believe it's the best moment to monetize your life purpose, is how we see it. So obviously there are more people, but at the same time, more opportunities. And the thing is, most of them make mistakes, no?
Yeah, we think that the main problem in general is that people don't understand how the algorithms or how the math behind social media works. And most of the time, people are too much focused on creating spotless content or what they think, and that's something that we always teach, what they think their audience needs instead of giving them what they want. And that's what hindered basically their success on social media in general. Of course, there are ways of thinking of your success on social media. So for some people it might be like numbers, for other people might be...
That is actually another big mistake.
Yeah, because people are thinking that being successful, having like millions and millions of followers and views, etc. But that is not actually the way to monetize your life purpose or your personal brand. We work directly with Meta since the beginning of October last year, 2024. I mean, we've been working on our Instagram account since 2021 when we also built our academy, etc. 21?
20?
No, 2019.
19?
Yes, you are correct. Academy was built in 2019. No, 2021. The Instagram 2019.
There you go.
And we see so many creators that have many more followers than us, like millions and millions, and they cannot monetize their account because what they've been focusing on was just going viral and get like lots of views and likes, but that doesn't really convert. And sometimes it's so much better to have maybe 600 followers, 200, 1,000, and they are all possible clients that having millions that are actually not converting anything.
Really?
Yeah.
That is interesting. Because I'll tell you, so I obviously work in a lot of different industries, right? And so I do the podcasting, but I also do a lot of television and radio. And one of the things that I have thought holds me back is that I don't have over 10,000 followers on social platforms. And I do think sometimes they'll look at your social following and be like, that's not really a big following. Like, we want someone bigger to be on TV. So there's I kind of feel like there is a sort of numbers game, but maybe that's when industries cross over and people don't really understand what they're doing. Because also my other problem, I guess, is that I really, like, my target audience for everything I've done up until this podcast has been bisexual men. And only 12% of bisexual men are out of the closet. So I'm going for a minority of the minority of the minority of people. So it's like, look, I know I don't have a big following, but I do have a captured audience.
The thing is,
which is interesting.
Between target audience and ideal client.
Mm.
That is, well, this is kind of one of our secrets, but that's fine. We will give it for free.
Oh,
no,
we love free stuff. Great.
No, the thing is, you have to create content for both your target audience, which is a bigger group
of people,
and then your ideal client. Actually, I believe, I don't know, I mean, we should talk a lot about specifically yours, but I believe your bisexual men are your ideal client rather than your target audience. And maybe you are creating content just for your ideal client, and that's why you are not growing.
Well, I have no strategy at all. I just post what I think is cool. I'm one of those people that will moan like, why is my following not high? And then not really bother to do anything about it. And then be like, well, I liked this picture of my children. Why didn't everyone else? And then I'm also terrible at kind of like, I'll have a big article go live or I'll go and do a big TV interview and then just not even mention it on social media. So I deserve what I've got. You know what I mean? I deserve it. But let's get back to talking about you guys. So you guys have built this Creators Breakthrough Academy, and this is really focused on helping LGBTQ plus individuals transform their lives and purpose and profitability. So tell me, I mean, you've already given away one secret sauce, but what are some of the strategies that you're teaching creators and how can they monetize and make the content they want to make?
I'm gonna go first because there's a lot to unpack there before we go into like the strategy. First of all, we are both actors, so we studied acting for years and years, and we both trained. Myself in Italy, I'm Italian. Arif is Spanish. In the UK, we have a theater company in the UK. We did shows in the UK, etc., etc. And as actors, of course, we want to be famous. We all want to win an Oscar. And Instagram was for us the platform that we found like the place where we could be ourselves and actually create this community. So on one side, what you said before, it's true that for depending on your goals, sometimes numbers are important, like for actors or for people that needs to appear on TV, needs to have a certain authority. Sometimes, yes, numbers are something that they need to improve and grow, but that doesn't mean that numbers equals money, basically. Depending really on your goals, you need to decide, okay, I'm going to grow my following or I'm going to nurture my audience, etc., etc. And for us, it's basically both things because we are actors on the side and we have our TV show, etc. And we need to show people, look, we are this, we have 100,000 followers, and that actually helped us to open many, many doors. Okay. On the other side, because we haven't done it correctly from the beginning, because I mean, at the beginning, we didn't know what we were doing on social media, and that comes basically the strategy. We were growing, but we didn't know what the algorithm was, etc., etc. So then we started analyzing our account, making so many mistakes. And then that moment was when, okay, we said, perfect, we have found like a possible strategy that might work for everyone. So then we reached out to people that wanted to grow on Instagram and or better monetize their account. And we told them like our strategy and what we were doing. And we created a system that works now for everyone. We are specifically focused on LGBTQ people because, I mean, as you know, and probably everyone was listening to this podcast knows, and if you don't know, just do your research. We experience a lot of hate as LGBTQ people and as a minority. And minority, yes. As you said, just the 12% of like bisexual men are out of the closet. And we needed to find a strategy that could help us to reach out to our ideal clients and target audience without suffering hate or discrimination. Because specifically at the beginning, that's very frustrating, and that can be what stops you from not doing the work, not monetizing your life purpose, etc., because you're receiving hate from other people.
The mindset basically is just, the mental health breaks you down, all those things. So we found out a way to stop that.
And so the first suggestion that we tell people, the first thing that we always say is like, the content in general, whichever content you create, it's ephemeral. So you do a post today, tomorrow people will forget about that. So don't get too stressed. And that's the first, and it seems probably stupid, but the first tip is really don't care about the content. Make sure.
What? Well, actually, I've already done that. So good. I'm already winning that first one.
Perfect. Okay. Don't care about the content, about make it super polished, and remember that people will forget. Make sure that what I said before, you do the content for your ideal clients and target audience, and make sure that the content is what they want, not what you think they need.
Connect it to your personal brand, always, obviously, okay? When we say don't care about the content, we don't mean it like that. Obviously, you need to care about the content, but many people get in this hamster wheel of polishing, perfectioning, and they don't create content. But you need to feed the algorithm at the same time. Otherwise, you don't grow. If you don't grow, you don't get ideal clients, blah, blah, blah.
You know what? I can definitely relate to polishing something too much. So this podcast, I wanted to start this at the start of 2024, and I spent all of 2024 deciding what the name would be, rather than
Wow.
just doing it.
Sadly, is what it is on social
Yeah,
media. And this is also for podcast, YouTube, everything sometimes. And I mean, we need to create content for the people, of course, that are there watching, etc. But at the same time, for the algorithm or algorithms. So we cannot forget that there's a math behind that we need, as I've said, to nurture and to feed every single day. Okay, so sometimes, and this is something that we always say, and Arif is very struggles with that a lot because he's a Virgo. I'm a Taurus, so for me that doesn't really matter. Done is better than perfect. So that's part of our motto when you create content. On that note, when you create content, the thing that we always say, and that's part of our strategy, so this is super deep. Remember that your content needs, as Arif said, needs to attract your ideal client, your target audience. Your target audience is that group of people that share same demographics and psychographics, and the ideal client is someone specific within that group that is going to buy your product, service, listen to your music, listen to your podcast in your case, buy your book, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the content you need to create needs to be divided into growth content, okay, which is the content that help you grow, that will have more views, more likes, more shares, and blah, 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 blah.
Connected to your personal brand anyways.
Connected to your personal brand, of course. And then a smaller percentage of the content needs to be what we call nurture content, okay? So it's a specific content created for your ideal client, and that's the other tip, you can have many ideal clients avatar within your target audience. The niche thing, it's a thing, but it's not the only way to grow. To be super niche down at the end of the day will not help you. That's why we like many big content creators and personalities like Trixie Mattel, because she's the, for the people that are listening that don't know her, she's a drag queen from RuPaul Drag Race, and she's created this amazing and big personal brand, which is the Mattel brand. So she doesn't do only drag, but she has a TV show, she has a motel, the Trixie Motel, she has a line of makeup, etc., etc. And people love her for who she is more than the product that she has.
That is actually, sorry, just one little thing. You said the most important thing for us. We see social media just through the eyes of personal branding. If you don't know your personal brand, if you don't work with your personal brand always in mind, nothing works. Is everything disconnected? That is the most important thing.
So, what I want to get to, right? So, well, two questions. Number one, on the LGBT side, we're talking about less than 5% of any given country's population. So obviously there are going to be straight people that are interested in LGBT content, but because you're going out to a smaller audience, like with me and the bisexual men thing, like is there always going to be a bit of a ceiling you're not going to pass? Unless you're sort of like mega famous or you've done loads of TV shows. Like for the average LGBT person that says, you know what, I want to be a content creator, like is there really... It's never going to go above 20,000 or 30. Because you think there's less than 5% of the population that's LGBTQ, probably even less of those that are on Instagram or TikTok. So what?
Look, okay, I need to stop you there already.
Okay, you stop me.
And this doesn't have anything to do with our business, it's just what we believe is true. Who is in charge of saying those numbers? Who is in charge? I don't know the name in English. Census is...
Census, ONS, yeah.
Right. So let's go to this extreme. Let's go to a country where homosexuality is illegal. Whichever, I'm not going to say a name. Okay, go to one of them. In those census, how many people is gay or bisexual? Zero. Okay, that's extreme. That is not true, obviously. Okay? In those countries are the same amount that everywhere. So this happens also in the UK, Spain, US, everywhere. So we just don't believe in those numbers, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
How many people, I don't know you, but I know more than 20 in person, 20 straight people that are not straight. I had sex with them. Some of them, they have families in the past, okay? Or we know them for other reasons, blah, blah. If I know more than 20, and I'm just one person in the world, multiply this for everybody. That is just
Well,
not.
try being bisexual, where no one wants to say they're bisexual, but so many people are like, oh yeah, but I did have this thing and I did have that, and he's quite hot. And it's like, okay, I think putting labels on things, like, people just don't want to do it unless you're, I think more if you're gay, but I think especially on the bi side or on the spectrum, whatever you want to call it, people like to be down low about it.
So basically, the first thing is we just don't believe in those numbers. Okay, so just put that out of the way. We receive so many, at this point, I would say thousands and thousands of messages from people that are not gay but are gay, or bisexual, or whatever, okay, from the LGBTQIA plus community. So that's boom, next. And then anyways, it's the same thing that we say to older people. We have older students in our academy and they struggle a lot. The first question is, oh my God, but my target audience and ideal clients are not on Instagram because this is blah, blah, or they are not on TikTok. That is not true. On Instagram, there are, like, I believe 2 billion
More
people.
now people.
There will be your ideal clients. Now we are experimenting, coming back to Facebook, because it's what Meta, our mentors from Meta told us, and is working actually. We are coming back to Facebook.
Oh,
yeah.
It was like, what are you talking about? And we are getting actually good money from Facebook. So by the way, guys,
Facebook, if you haven't used
check it out. So the thing is, your ideal client is everywhere and your target audience is everywhere. And you just have to check. You are from the UK. Nobody from the UK, from the LGBTQI plus community, comes to my mind now at the moment. But from the USA, there are loads of super huge LGBTQIA plus people without being on television before. Like for our friends, Uli and Ernesto, for example, they have almost 700,000 followers. They are a gay couple from the US. So, I mean, there are tons
of people. Yeah, there's no way sorry to interrupt you, but very quickly, there's no such a thing like not growing. If you're not growing in general, but if you're not reaching the people, it's because there's a problem with either the content, with the research that you have done, with the work that you're doing.
Many little things, actually.
It's like that, and that's something that we always say, even when we are in these calls with Meta. We do around between 3 to 5 sessions per week with them. And there are many other creators that are like always already upset because they are not growing anymore, etc., etc. And what we always say, and we are also part of those creators, we say, every time we don't grow or something doesn't work, we never blame the algorithm.
They blame to the weatherman.
I mean, the algorithm is created for you to grow. It's that for you to connect you with the right people. If there's something that the algorithm doesn't want you to do, that the algorithm wants you to connect it with the people. So if you are not growing, it's because
your fault.
It's your fault.
I know you guys are more expert in this than me, but I will say this. Bisexual, the word, was sort of shadow banned. So whenever I was like writing anything about bisexual, they all thought it was porn. So like it wouldn't go through. So I was done in by the algorithms.
Look, that is
something that we actually asked.
Really nice thing you have said there. That is not Meta or... it's not a decision like, okay, I want to ban gay couples, because the hashtag gay couple was banned also for a couple of years. There is like no human being behind, basically. It's because many people are using that word, as you said, or that hashtag
to discriminate and
to do wrong things that go against the guidelines, basically. So then the algorithm just block it. But Miley Cyrus, the hashtag Miley Cyrus, was blocked as well.
For years.
For years. So it's because many people were using it, blah, 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 blah. So don't get upset.
And to be fair, if you look at hashtag bisexual on Twitter, it is all threesomes. So, and then me sort of in between every 8 posts. I was going to ask you just quickly then. So first of all, I mean, you guys have an advantage. You're a couple. There's 2 of you. But if you were, just one person with a full-time job that wanted to sort of get started out in this, how much time each week should you be looking at spending on your content? If you're just starting out, do you think, and you're one person?
That is great. I love the question, seriously. It is not about the content, first of all, as we said before. It's more about the strategy at the beginning. So in terms of hours a day, it's just depending on when do you want to start your journey. Like really start, okay? I would say a couple of hours a day. Less than that, it would be kind of...
Yeah, specifically in the first 2 months
difficult.
Before you understand like what you have to do. You get down with the strategy, with the content, with the batch content creation. What we do with our students, they learn our, basically when they get started with us, apart from like all the research they do for their personal brand, etc., they create a 1-year calendar of content. So their year is already created in the first 2 months, and then they go by blocks of 3 months every time. So they, before they start posting, for example, on Instagram, they have already the content created for at least 9. Okay, so before that, of course, as Arif said, the minimum, I think, between 1 hour and a half and 2 hours a day for you to sit down and say, okay, perfect. It's like going back to university when people are studying with us. It's like, okay, I'm doing a master's, so I need to dedicate the time to learn the strategy and then become second skin. We had, for us, like a successful story. We are not about, again, numbers, but for us, a successful story, it can be like a student that started with nothing and after a few months has already like paying clients out of their content. And this is Peter, is one of our new students. He's from Chicago and is it's called like on Instagram, I think, is the Bear Coach. And
we are in the UK now.
Yes,
Bear.
and he's all about like queer joy and creating like a safe space for the LGBTQ community, etc. And he really started like with 100 followers a few months ago.
Last month.
So he's up to 500 followers, and what he says always just is like, it's not the numbers that I'm really like getting super excited about, but it's what's coming that is not measurable. Like he's already doing like his webinars, courses with people, etc., etc. So
because he's getting the right
people,
audience,
the right
basically.
audience. And he did it, he didn't have a clue on how to use Instagram, not even how to record the video and edit the video. For us, that is like an amazing success because.
But anyways, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyways, because I really want to get this through. Content creation is important, but if you don't have everything else, it's just nothing, like literally nothing. And when I say everything else, I mean the strategy behind. And to know really your personal brand, to do your research, that we teach obviously how to do that, and to find your ideal client, your target audience. Like before you even start posting or start creating the content to post, you need to work at least for 2 months if you have a part-time job, okay? Like 2 months, 4 hours a day, I would say, okay? Something like that. If you have a full-time job, then it's longer, maybe 4 months with a couple of hours, or if you have the entire weekend to dedicate. The thing is, we work a lot. It's our passion. We are building our business. We are still in our fourth year. We have like a 5-year business plan. We are living the 4th one, so we don't have free time, okay? Because I mean, what do you want? Do you want to have your business? Do you want to create your legacy? Or what do you want? We want that. So we need to spend time on it. That's the thing. So it depends on the person.
Can I just pick up on something that you said there, which I think is quite important? Now, anyone that's watching, please go to the academy and learn. I'm not trying to get all of the tips out of you, because obviously I want people to go to your academy. On your, knowing who you are as an individual and leveraging your identity in this space, what if you, A, don't know who you are, or B, you think, well, I've not really got anything unique to give, so my friend, oh my god, just to tell you this joke. So my friend Daniel Harding, who's been on the podcast, won't mind me saying this, his first book was called Gay Man Talking. And I, like, when he told me that the first time, I was like, oh, haven't we had enough gay men talking? Like, as a joke. And he was like, oh my god, do you think it's too, because he was like, that I'm not the only gay man to be talking. And so I do think maybe a lot of people think if there's not something instantly unique about them, it's like, oh, I'm just another bisexual man and there's millions of bisexual men. Like, what makes me unique? So how do you help people identify what they have uniquely to offer?
Great. Yeah. Look, you're asking the best questions in the world. We both want to talk. Well, first of all, this is my opinion. That's kind of a lie. Everyone knows that is special for something, but maybe your imposter syndrome tells you, no, you are not. But you know that you are unique. Anyways, if you don't know, which I don't believe, you are. I mean everybody. Everybody has unique experiences, and even if the experience itself is the same, it was looked through different eyes and different everything. So
what we always say is what RuPaul says, like you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The wheel works just fine. You just need to put your glitter on. So everyone of us has a story, their own story, and their own story is unique because of course, I mean, we are 2 gay men But
No, I'm not gay. I am a human being.
You're a human being, but we are both. Our stories are both unique, and we have different point of views on things in life, etc. So even if we had to start, and we thought many times, and something probably we will do in the future, when we win an Oscar and we become famous actors in Hollywood, we will have our own separate accounts, and each one of us will do their own things on TV, etc., and will be unique on its own. But really, what we say, first of all, I want to suggest for the people that are listening a book about what Arif said, imposter syndrome, and that idea. That's the main problem most of the time for people on social media, is because you all feel imposters. Even you say, no, I'm a coach. We have many coaches that actually work with people that have imposter syndrome, but they also have imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And it's called The Mountain Is You by Brianna Waste. It's an amazing book. You can also have like the
audio version.
It's so amazing.
As a dyslexic, yes, I'll go for the audio version.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's an exercise that we actually do with people when they come to our webinar. People here wants to do it because, again, we are actors mainly. We studied acting for years and years. And every time that people are thinking that they are not unique, we do this exercise, because for us, creating your personal brand and building your story and like your online persona, as we call it, is the same, more or less the same process than creating a character on stage or on screen. And we say, if we all three are going to play Romeo, for example, from Romeo and Juliet, correct? Even if we have the same text and the director is giving us the same directions, each one of us will do it in a different way and will have its own way to do it, because we are putting in the character our own core and our own sensibility, etc., etc. It's the same when you create an online persona and a personal brand. So we do this exercise that is called 12 Ideas in 3 minutes. So basically, it's an exercise for your brain to think out of the box and start really getting down to business and say, okay, perfect, why am I unique? Okay, to find like your uniqueness. And you need to have a piece of paper, you divide it in 12 different squares, and you put a timer, and every 15 seconds during 3 minutes, you write in every single square an idea or something that makes you special, that you think makes you special, and that also the way that you want to be seen by your audience. Because at the end of the day, creating your personal brand is that perception that you want to give to your audience about yourself. It's true, it's a true reality, true perception, but it's something that you decide. Like, we want to be seen as a gay couple that is very colorful, is cheeky, and blah, blah, blah. But we are many more things than that. Okay? And so once you've done, these 12 ideas in 3 minutes and really 15 seconds per block, you don't have to spend more time because you don't have to overthink. Then you go down to 5 different traits, and usually those 5 will be the 5 traits that will represent you. This is a quick way.
That is a quick one, obviously,
to find your uniqueness.
That's really nice. I wanted to talk a little bit outside of the content, sort of, and focus on you guys as a couple. So obviously you've got a lot you're doing. You're acting, you have the academy, you obviously have the social media accounts, but you're also a couple. So how do you balance your personal relationship with kind of the professional side? You know, what if Ricky wants to post something? Can you think it's, ridiculous? Do you have fights over who gets to decide what content? Like, how does it all work, and how do you keep it all happy?
So Ricky wants to post ridiculous stuff every day, and I hate it. No, look, at this point in time, we know so well each other. Our relationship, both the personal one and the business one, it sounds so cheesy, but it's really perfect. We really know each other. We trust each other. There is, at this point, I believe, nothing that Ricky would do that I would say, oh my God, or the other way around. So obviously it comes with years of working, both the relationship and the business one. So, I don't know, we are kind of, I don't want to say lucky, but it's what people think about us. Think that we are very lucky. And it's just everything about communication. It's just... So
how about mystery, though? Because sometimes I think in a couple, sometimes it's quite nice to have mystery. They're going off to work and they work in this industry that I don't know about, and I wonder what they do all day, and I've had chance to miss them and stuff. You guys do everything together, but is there ever a point where you're sick of the sight of each other, or...
No.
That's good. That's great if it works for you guys.
It really works.
We've been living for 2 years in a camper van around Europe and UK and Italy, Spain specifically, for 2 years in a camper van that was very small, and that while we were building our business, So there are no secrets between us.
Okay.
There's no.
But the thing is, because many people, look, like 99% of people think that this is toxic.
Yeah.
Look, the thing is, we have the same goals in life, like literally the same goals, like personally and professionally, both. It's very. I know it's difficult to happen, but it happens to us. So
No, I think you're really lucky. I think a lot of people say that that's what they want. Oh, we want to work together and live together and do everything together. And then after 2 weeks, they're like, oh my God, I can't.
it's been almost.
So the fact that it works for you guys is really nice.
It does. It really works. I mean, we couldn't say otherwise. It's just.
It's true that anyway we divide between our personal relationship and our work
obviously.
relationship. We have like timings during the day when we do like our meetings as a business. So we go down to that, and of course we disagree on many ideas every single day.
It's
There
the
are
only way
things
to find.
to find like a pattern that works for both of us. But what Arif said is true, is communication. We talk about everything all the time, and we need to do the meetings because even though we have a business together, we work in two different spaces, and I do certain things and Arif does others, and then we need to anyway do our business meetings to understand where we are going to. Same thing for our relationship. We always take like 2 hours a day to dream, to walk together. To do
That
things
is look.
together.
That was amazing. We literally, this is crazy, but we do talks, dreaming walks. Sorry, strolls. Okay, around the city. We are just going to spend this hour dreaming. This is an exercise that we do a few times a week. It's crazy, no?
Yeah.
I used to do that with my other half, where we go for like a walk along the river and just talk about what we wanted in the future and like, oh, won't it be good when this happens? And that I think that is good. They say when couples stop dreaming together, they stop being together. So no, I think that's really important. Quick one, just on the content stuff. So first of all, because I've heard conflicted things on this, are hashtags dead or are hashtags alive?
I love that. This is one of my favorite topics. Sorry,
Oh, you
it
dare talk
has
about
to be.
it,
It has
yeah.
to be me now. No, because we are doing now, finishing a shorter version of our Insta Smashing formula, which is our course specific just to Instagram. We're doing the version for people that don't want to know the reasons why, just the things to do. So we've been talking literally yesterday about this again, and with the Meta group 2 days ago. The thing is, a couple of years ago, I don't know exactly the moment, but hashtags were kind of the only way for you to
Get shown in front of people.
basically, okay, it was kind of the only way. Then the algorithms starting liking more keywords in general, the words that you say on your videos, the words that are written on the caption, every single word. So now, if hashtags were like 90% of your everything before, now it's maybe 10% or 20%, I don't know. So obviously, they don't have the same importance, but they work the same way than before. That's the thing. So we are all about optimizing your posters, optimizing your everything. If you want to optimize your post and you don't do the right, because I don't say hashtags, I said the right hashtags. So it's a word that is so difficult for me to pronounce. If you don't do that, you are missing out that 20% of possibilities. It's just ridiculous. So they already matter. But, for example, one of our mentors, he's actually from the UK, amazing. Michael, we call him Michael Amazing, but it's amazing or something like that.
Yeah, because
we call him Amazing because he's amazing. He was saying the other day, hashtags 5, because Mosseri, the CEO of Instagram said, use 5. That is why they tell you to use 5, because it's very difficult for people that don't know how to do it, find 30 right. So it's better if you use 5 because you have fewer possibilities to make it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay? But if you use 30 perfect, like spot on to your account, to your post, blah, blah, they will do wonders for you, even if they don't work as well as before.
Can a post work without hashtags? Yes. Can a post work with hashtags? Yes. The answer usually is always yes on Instagram. Everything that you think about is yes.
Got you. So another one that I think is you're gonna find controversial, but I'm gonna ask it. Where do you guys stand on ChatGPT and other AIs for helping with coming up with content ideas, for drafting the copy for the post? Is that a smart thing to do, or is that lazy and inauthentic?
Let me say. I'm gonna say a motto, a sentence that is in Spanish. I'm gonna translate it in English. Let's see if it makes sense. Because the answer for that we always say, when it comes a wave, you can surf it or it will drown you. Okay. So that's what we think about like all the new techniques, etc. It's the same thing. I mean, AI is not even the future, it's now the present and even the past. So if you're not using it and you're going against it, at some point you will lose it because the world is evolving. So we are okay with using AI, using it in the best possible way for you, and of course making sure that you are not infringing anyone's rights, etc., etc. Saying that, of course, I mean it's an amazing help for every single business owner, and actually it's something that we tell our students to use it. Now there's also AI on Instagram and Meta, and those are all new possibilities, and it's opening like a completely new world for content creators. So absolutely, you should use it.
Saying that, we would love to live in the countryside with cows and sheep.
And not being on
So
social media.
we don't like machines and Terminator 2
And technology.
and technology. That's the truth. That
Yeah.
is crazy, but it's true. We prefer books. But the world is happening anyway, regardless of
Yeah.
what I like or what I don't like. So for us, the most important thing is, and sorry people that is listening to this, I suppose that you get it, you understand me? For us, it's stupid to go against these things and to have even the conversation, okay? Because they are going to happen, and in 2 year time, they will be everywhere, like everything else. If you go to Lidl today, okay, to the supermarket Lidl, every single they are not people, cashiers, they are just machines, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter if you want it, if you don't want it, it's going to happen. So you need to make the best and the most of it. Okay.
Well, talking about making the best and the most of it, one of this podcast really wants to do, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on is I think it's so hard nowadays for modern people to really know that they are living well or living on their own terms. I think, in times gone by, people just used to not even know that they had options. They would just sort of marry the person from down the road because that's what you did, get a job in that factory for 50 years and die. Whereas now we have so many more options. You can go and raise your cows, or you can go and do your AI things and have social media. So there's so many options nowadays. How do you guys identify what makes you happy in life, and how do you ensure that you're actually living the best versions of yourselves when there's so many things you could be doing right now?
Ourselves, we are on the way of having our dream life. We are in that process. We are super happy. We know that we are in the right path, and having that feeling is just so what's the word? You feel accomplished, like really, okay, realized as a human being, whole. You can make me whole again. It's just crazy. It's how we feel, really. And I forgot the question.
No, I'm gonna chime in for that. What we say, and we say that to our students, and that's why we created the Creators Breakthrough Academy, which the whole point is that you're gonna monetize your life purpose, because we want everyone to be happy. We say it's something that we say every single day when we wake up. We wake up with the feeling of saying, I cannot wait for the day to begin and to get started and to go to work.
Yeah.
Most of the time we are outside doing other things, funny things, and we're like, oh, I want to go back home to do the work because we are super excited about it. So I think that's actually what moves us, is that feeling every single day. Okay, so when that doesn't happen, it's because there's something wrong for us. That's how we understand if we are on the right path. And sometimes we feel it when we are like in other projects, and we started getting anxiety, our guts are telling something, and in that case we stop. We are very energetic people, so we feel that the energy is not correct, it's a feeling that we have, we stop it straight away.
If I have the time just to say something on that note, because maybe people think that, we were rich kids or whatever. No,
Never.
Not at all. Before the coronavirus, we both were working as box office clerks on the West End. I was in Hamilton, and Ricky
Mary Poppins.
where Mary Poppins was, the Prince Edward Theatre. Having like normal, we progressed. We started as front of house, selling ice creams, blah 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 blah, and then box office clerk. That, to be honest, is a really nice job, but it's not the best in the world. And then coronavirus happened, and we decided to create this. We had a little money, on the side, and then we jumped in. Into the unknown. I mean, like, everyone can do this, is what I mean. Everybody can do this. Everyone can run from their 9 to 5 if they want, because if that makes you happy, but if it doesn't, you can run away from this, definitely.
Your guts are always right, so listen to your guts, really.
And we are going to die, all of us.
What?
No. That is super true. So we just have one life.
Yeah. Well, actually, on that, because one of the things I can't let you go without asking is, so you guys, you have a great brand, you're doing all the things that you want, you're on your way to living your dream life, and you're advising a lot of other people about how they should find themselves and how they can monetize. But I want to know, what are you guys self-critical about, and in what ways are you hard on yourselves, and do you
About
self-judge?
our professional.
Either or, whether that's professional with the content or with yourselves as people, like how, what ways do you self-judge and how do you overcome that?
We judge absolutely everything we do to find out, the perfection.
We try to
our perfection.
Yeah, we try to judge, but that comes from lots of years of experience, even like in acting, etc. We try to judge in the best objective way possible. Okay, so we try always, and that's something that you said before, because we are two, it's easier for us because one can judge the other one in the best possible way without being subjective.
Yeah, maybe judge is not the word.
Yeah,
it's more like
look into what we are doing.
Analyze.
And analyze what we're doing in the best objective way possible.
Yeah.
Okay, and we always work with a specific goal in mind, and we try every time we lose the path and we don't understand something that we're doing is correct, or we feel bad because maybe we could have done like a reel that would work better, or we could be better on our like diet or going to the gym, etc., etc.
We evaluate.
We always evaluate and we say, okay, perfect, so that was the goal, what I've done, what I should do, etc., etc. We are very objective on that. We try, at least.
And we do. Yeah, we actually evaluate every single project that we do. And for project is even a reel for us. Afterwards, we evaluate, okay, this was good, this wasn't, so next time, blah, blah.
Makes sense. So two more questions left. So the first one is about home. And I think a lot of people these days struggle with, where should I live? And where is home to me? And what does home mean? Now, you guys have obviously lived in lots of different places around the world and a camper van. So what to you is home? And what does having a home mean? And how do you make it feel like home?
Like a Disney movie.
Yeah,
this is
my home is with you. Yeah.
It's so cheesy, but it's true. In our case, obviously, we are two. So
yeah, that's absolutely true. But we always say that London is our home because we met in London.
We met in London, and
every time we go to London, we feel safe in some way. It's like coming back home in your hometown. But as London, the city of London, I'm talking about the UK, but London specifically, at certain spots in London, really. As you said, we lived in many places, even like in the UK, in Plymouth. We lived in Cheltenham and many different places. But really, where we are together in any place we've been together, and that's something that we experienced with the camper van. It was like, okay, every day we are in a different city, and then we get into the camper van and we are in our house.
That's lovely. And I think you guys obviously got a great relationship, and a lot of people don't. But I wanted to ask about content creators, though, because arguably a content creator can live anywhere. So are there any places that you sort of recommend to people that are on the academy, like, go here because it's a tax break and you can do backflips there just as well as you can in a busy city where you're, paying hundreds of thousands of pounds to live there? Or the other thing is, I've heard about this place in Manchester that they call it like content creators towers, and everyone in there is a content creator and they all know each other and they're all collabing all the time. I mean, I think there's a lot of OnlyFans that goes on, but who cares?
Los
Angeles,
like in LA. To be honest, we don't have the answer for that.
Right.
Taxes wise and all that, no clue. No, there is a place called Andorra. It belongs to Spain, but look, this is embarrassing because I'm not sure exactly what it is. I believe it's between Spain and France, like a little place, and then you don't pay taxes there. So many people go there.
But for us, the most important, it's not about paying taxes, etc.
No, it's about how
we feel, and as a gay couple as well.
Yeah.
So we found out that like Madrid, it's an amazing city to feel safe going out, to like holding hands, etc., as well as London in many places, or like Barcelona. But then like I would never go back and living in my own town in Sicily because it's terrible. So for us, that's something.
But beautiful Sicily people, Sicilian, we love you.
We love you. I mean. But where we actually, for our the way to see if the place is good to live in for us is, can we be gay 100%. I would say gay all the time.
Yeah,
sorry.
that's fine.
Can we be like ourselves 100%? Can I go out with a skirt and heels and nothing is going to happen to me? So that's a good place for us to live in. And for now, Madrid and Chueca and London are the best places.
Well, let's bring this one home. So my final thing is we like to end on a positive note. So either a funny story, and you guys have given me a lot of giggles throughout all of this anyway. A positive story, something funny. What are you going to end on?
I think you're going to talk about how we met. That's something that people always are...
Origin story, I love it.
And we have told this so many times because everyone asks us as a gay couple, how did you meet?
But it's a funny story.
Yeah, but is it real and it's kind of fun. So it was before we were box office clerks. We were both front of house. Well, I was already supervisor, I believe. But Ricky was selling ice creams, which is fine and amazing. He used to work for Mamma Mia, the Novello Theatre in
the West End.
Orchway. Do you know London?
Holborn.
Yeah. I'm in London right now.
You're in London, okay, well, around Holborn. And then I used to work for the Noel Cowboy Theatre, which is actually, I want to buy that place and that will be my house. I know that theatre so well. St. Martin's Lane, love it. Anyways, I used to work there and I won the Mystery Shopper. Let's start from that, otherwise it's too long. I won the Mystery Shopper, so in Delphine Mackintosh Theatres, if you won that, you had like £40 to spend on another theatre of the same company. And then you need to look for the next mystery shopper.
So they gave you the night off, they paid you for the night, and they give you the tickets plus £40.
Amazing. So I went to Mamma Mia with my friend Monse. Hello, Monse. And there he was, Ricky selling ice creams with this face. Okay, that was his face.
Apparently.
But no,
remember.
apparently no, it was
It's
the truth. But I said, ooh, this is hot. And Italian, because Italian, you know, they're crazy. So they write their names with double everything. So it was Riccardo with double C. So I knew he was Italian and, you know, we all like an Italian. So I was there. Hello, blah, 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 tell me your ice creams. He told me their ice cream, super serious. I was like, I'm not going to give you the mystery shopper, but I'm going to put you second because you are going to hate me. So I put him second.
And then the form came back to our theater saying that this person came to the theater and I wasn't chosen as a winner, but another person of the theater was chosen. So I got very upset. It was like, I never win,
Then,
whatever.
3 months after, my theater went dark, okay, because between shows, the theaters, you know, they have like 3 months or 2 weeks or whatever between shows to prepare the next show. So I went to work for his theater.
And in the rota I saw the name, and I remembered the name because it was like, that's the guy that didn't make me win. So I asked our front office supervisor to put us like on the same place in the rota, so I could work.
Thanks for
with him.
watching.
So
Don't
we were
forget to
fighting
like and
basically the entire
subscribe.
day and flirting as well.
Yeah.
And that was
And then I kissed him in the changing room.
the same day.
Not the same.
Wow. Oh, I love the tension. That's great. That's a great way to start.
The movie.
Meeting in real life now, where so many people just meet on apps. So actually, in real life and a nice story. That is beautiful, guys. I have really enjoyed this one. I think I'm gonna term this part 1 because I think we need to do a part 2 at some point because I think there's so much more I need to know from you guys. But thank you so much for joining us on Generation Uncharted.
Thank you so much. And if you or whoever have a question about Instagram or whatever, just Instagram us.
Yeah,
Where can people find you?
Arif _and_ Ricky everywhere.
Thank you guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.